Half the time you barely rhyme. Sometimes I wonder, am I a crime just being around you? I really wonder, am I gonna be looking black and blue? But you know what? I wonder what are those? But you know what? I barely bet you pool hoes. But you know what? I wish to tickle them toes. But you know what? It is what it is. Looking at that beard, it looks a little weird, but it is what it is. Looking at those glasses, it makes it look like a porn star. You better be hoping that you don't get caught by Pablo Escobar, snorting all the way from the subway to the stay.
So this is the one with the orange hair, talks about galaxy gas. Knowing you be hitting that shit every day. What's next? You gonna do cocaine? Maybe a little heroin? Next thing I know, you up in P. Diddy's mansion.
But half the time you barely even rhyme me. Sometimes you're like a silly dime, and sometimes you are like a lime because you're looking a little sour in your face. But you know what? I like the taste. But you are what it is. But you know what? Looking at that shirt, I really wonder, do you make her squirt? I realized that was a little bad. Sorry if I made you a little mad, but there's no compromise. I'm back on the rise. You know what? I'm going for those deep fries. Where's those fries? I'm going crazy. Sometimes I remember you and your tidy whities in that Spider-Man mask while I'm huffing galaxy gas. But you know what? You're right.
Over here wearing jeans, yet it doesn't even look fashionable. You got a boyfriend, so you a fag? I bet. Next thing I know, you gonna get 3 more. And then the next thing everybody else knows, you gonna try hitting on everybody else.
I ain't no hoe, but you know what? You look like Rambo in your dreams, looking at that Lambo. But you know what? It is what it is. So looking at those jeans, you ain't the one talking shit. I don't care about looks, care about practicality. But you know what? Sometimes you define gravity. Looking at the head, sometimes I wonder, are you Humpty Dumpty? Until December. Sometimes you almost look like a registered sex offender.
At least I'm not the one that looks like a rapist. Next thing I know, you're gonna be barking at little kids' doors. Hey there, little boy, how about a little fun? Yeah. And the next thing everybody else knows, you're just gonna be hanging with P. Diddy, using that baby oil.
I'd rather be hanging out in Saudi Arabia pumping oil. But you know what? I'm gonna get back my tin foil on my head. But you know what? There's some shit better not said. You know what? You committed a little fast, lover boy. But it is what it is. You gave her her heart, give her a ring in less than 2 months. What are you, on the runs? Man, I even wonder if you even have a plan. Sometimes I really wonder if you put all your plans into a trash can and you don't even rhyme 90% of the time, and in that in itself is a crime.